and everything. So without knowing that, he cannot. Without knowing that, the cook cannot cook the food for you. Without knowing that, the cook cannot cook the food for you. So if the cook has to cook the food for you, so compulsory he has to know the number of people they are staying in your home now. Am I correct or not? So exactly, whenever you're trying to create the instance, in the last class I explained you now. In the last class I explained you, memory will be allocated, right or not? In the last class I explained you, when you create an instance, memory will be allocated. Last session is all about allocating the memory only. Okay. Now, if you want to allocate the memory, do you require to know what is, do you require to know the members of the class or not? To cook the food, just like the cook requires to know to cook the food, just like the cook requires to know the details here also. Does we require to know who are the members of the family or not? So same point here. What is that? To allocate the memory, what is it doing? See, all of you, read 1 and 3. Did you understand 1 and 3? Go through them. Are you guys clear what I'm telling you? Yeah. Identify the members. Identify the members. He has to identify the members. Okay. After identifying the members, the next thing you just require to know is, first step is to identify the members, and after identifying the members, the second step is going to you require to allocate the memory. You require to allocate the appropriate memory. The appropriate memory allocation has to be done. Are you guys clear? The appropriate memory allocation has to be done. You're required to allocate the memory. So to allocate the memory, first, what is it doing? To allocate the memory, first, what is it doing? It is trying to identify the members of the class now. To allocate the memory, first, what is it doing? It is trying to identify the members of the class. Are you clear with the first point and the last point? First one and last one are interrelated to it. The first and last are interrelated to it. Are you guys clear? So nothing more to explain, because already in the last class I explained you about allocating the memory. So to allocate the memory, first it will read the class and identify the members. So if anything is there to understand for you there, you're required to understand about the second point only. What is the second point? Invokes the constructors of all those classes. Invokes the constructors of all those classes. Okay? So that is what exactly we require to understand. what what is a constructor, what is invoking a constructor, and all the things. Let me explain you guys. Constructor. Listen, all of you. Array, if you recollect, about the members of a class, this is a list of the members, fields, we know, methods. Third member is constructor. Right? The third member of the class is constructor. Okay, now? So today we are learning about a constructor. This is a special method under the class which is responsible for initializing the fields of a class. Guys, all of you read carefully. This is a special method under the class which is responsible for initializing yeah, basically what I said, this is a special method under the class which is responsible for initializing the fields of a class. Initializing the fields of a class. Next. Next. The name of the method is exactly the same name of the class. The name of this method is exactly the same name of the class and cannot be changed. Okay, the name of the method is exactly the same name of the class. These methods are non-value returning. These methods are non-value returning. Guys, read the 3 points. Read the 3 points carefully. What is the first point I said here? It's a method responsible for initializing the fields of a class. Responsible for initializing the fields of a class. Point number 2. The name of the method is exactly the same name of the class. The name of the method is exactly the same name of the class. Are you clear, guys? What is that? The name of the method is exactly the same name of the class. Yeah. Second point, third point is that these are non-value returning methods. Okay. So these are non-value returning methods exactly. Yeah, these are non-value returning methods. All of you, carefully listen to this. What is that? without this constructor method in the class, we cannot create the instance of class. I repeat, guys, without this constructor method in the class, we cannot create the instance of class. The instance of the class cannot be created. Now, this particular point, what I just said you, this particular point, what I said you here, will be confusing us a little bit, really. This particular point is going to confuse us a little bit. What confusion? The confusion will be like, without what confusion will be like? Without a constructor, instance of a class cannot be created. Without a constructor, instance of a class cannot be created. So why this point will be confusing us means, because till now, guys, till now, if you understand, till now, we did not define anything called a constructors in our project. Till now, we did not define anything called as constructors in project. And how many classes did you define till now? How many classes did we define till now? Some 5 or 6 classes we would have been defined. No, in the, okay, from first day, so many, after opening the project, after opening this project till now, at least 5 or 6 classes we created and created the instances. Just a minute, we'll see. Guys, observe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 classes are defined here. 8 classes. 7 only there, na? No. In one day, in one file, we defined 2 classes. If you want to know the exact count, guys, observe it. If you expand the file here, it will show you the number of classes in the file. If you expand, it will show you the number of classes in the file. Watch, guys, how many classes are there? Count. Eight, na? Okay. I have 8 classes that are present for you in this particular file. Are you guys clear? Eight classes. Now we created the instances of all the 8 classes. Yes. We created the instance of all the 8 classes. Did we define anything called constructor? No. We did not define a constructor at all. But we have created the instances of all the 8 classes. I hope you guys are clear. Okay. So we have 8 classes. Until now, we created the instances of all the 8 classes. We created the instance of all the 8 classes right now here. But we did not define anything called constructor at all. We did not define anything called as constructor at all. But now suddenly what I'm telling you, array, without this constructor method in the class, we cannot create the instance of the class, I'm telling. So that's way, is it not confusing now? Yes or not? Okay. So let me explain you. Guys, read it, guys, all of you. All of you read this. Yes, people. Yes. Class first we have defined in Notepad. Two, the class oops project dot first we have defined in our last class. All those classes have this implicit constructor. Guys, did you understand the note, all of you? Unfortunately, one thing happened here. What happened, you know? What is the first class we defined in our project? What is the first class we defined in our project? Class first, right? Sorry, not in the project. When we started coding, the first class we defined is first.cs now, first.cs. Unfortunately, the last class we defined in the last session is also class first only. Unfortunately, the last class we defined yesterday is also class first only. So from the class first you defined in the notepad to the class first we defined, see, I differentiated oops project at first. In all these classes, there is an implicit constructor. Okay, now? Is it clear to all? So in each and every class you defined it till now. So in each and every class you defined it till now, there is a implicit constructor. There is an implicit constructor. Okay, watch guys. Suppose you written a class like this, class test. class defined as following. Now, after compilation of the above class, it looks as following. Watch, guys. Understood, all of you? Now see. Now see. While defining the class here, I'm just going to declare some fields like this: index, string s, bool b. And do you remember this one? Every field of a class will have a default value. Do you remember this? Every field of a class will have a default value. What is the default value of integer? What is the default value of integer? 0. Default value of a boolean? False. Default value of a string? Null. Actually, we'll have a doubt here. Are we assigning any value? No, we did not assign. Automatically default values will come. Without we assigning a value, how these default values will come? Without assigning a value, how these default values will come? And that default values comes into picture because of the constructor. The constructor is the one which is going to initialize the field. So that is what I said here. After compilation, this is how the code looks. Guys, observe it now. Another scenario. Watch it, all of you. The constructor is giving the default values now. Otherwise, without we giving a value, how does the value come? Without we giving a value, how does the value come? And the value comes because of the constructor. The constructor is going to assign the value. Are you clearer? Okay. And one more important thing, all of you remember what, at the time of declaration, at the time of declaration, suppose, if at all you give some default value like this, if you give a value like this, then what will constructor do, Constructor also will initialize the field with the same value. At the time of declaration, if you give a value like this, constructor also will initialize with the same value. Understood me? Okay. So at the time of declaration, if you give a value, constructor also will initialize with the same value. Are you guys clear? Okay. Now see, constructor will initialize only fields. Constructor will initialize only fields. See, do you remember this particular point? Variables will not have default values. Do you remember this, guys? Variables doesn't have default values. Okay. So just understand the point what I'm telling you. Variables will not have default value. Variables must be initialized by us. Why variable doesn't have a default value and why variables must be initialized by us? Understand, guys, why variables must be initialized by us? The reason why variables must be initialized by us is very simple, guys. What you know? What is the scope of a field? What is the scope of a field? The whole class. The whole class. What is the scope of a variable? What is the scope of a variable? Local, within the block, right? When the variable scope is within the block, how can the constructor access the variable? Can it access? If the variable scope is within the block, can the constructor access the variable? No. Then how can the constructor initialize it? But a field is accessible to constructor. Fields are accessible to constructor. Constructor can initialize. But variables are not accessible to constructors. So that's why constructors cannot initialize. Did you understand why variable doesn't have a default value? Do you guys understand why variable doesn't have a default value? Okay. You can also define a constructor, guys. You can also define a constructors. How can I define a constructor? Okay. So yeah, just like you define a method only, just like you define a method only. Just like you define a method only, modifiers, name, parameter list, and then you write some statements. Okay. Just like a method here, you observe it, except that void or type is missing. Void or type is missing. Rest of everything is same. Except that void or type is missing, it is exactly same like how you define a method. Okay, na? Yeah, guys, have a look, all of you. Start reading from here. Start reading from here, all of you. Come on, fast. Read the points below. Read the points below. Constructor means class name should be constructor name should be class name only. If you write a different name, that won't become a constructor. You can print. Are you guys clear? Implicit constructors are public. Point number one, implicit constructors are public. Point number two, while declaring a field, if we assign any value to it, then constructor will initialize the field with that value only, or else it will initialize the field with the default value. Okay, we can also define our own constructor. We can also define our own constructors in our class, and if we do that, implicit constructors will not be defined again. I hope you guys are clear. Now, let's see defining a constructor on our own. I'm defining a constructor here called as condemo. Okay, I'm defining a constructor here called as condemo. You cannot get videos. They don't give any video to you. If you have any questions, you can speak with Rambabu. But I say they don't give videos. Okay, guys. Yeah, class condemo. Okay, guys. I'm defining a constructor, public condemo. So what is this now? What is this now? Explicit constructor. This is a explicit constructor. Write in some coordinate, console dot write line, console dot write line. Constructor is called public void demo. What is this? This is a method. Console dot write line. Method is called. Okay. Console dot write line constructor is called, and console dot write line method is called. So I defined one constructor in the code, and also I defined one method in the code. Both the two things. Okay, so two things now. Now let me come to the main method, guys. Static void main, and in the main method, what you'll do, create the in the main method, create the instance of your class con demo. CD1 is equals to new con demo. I created the instance of the class. Okay, I created the instance of the appropriate class. And you see, when you run the code, constructor is called. See, did you notice that constructor is called now? Are you guys clear? Okay, so now whenever I create the instance, constructor is called. Um, methods here, they will be initiated to default values. What default value method will have, I don't understand. What default value method will have here? Method won't have any default value. Okay, so right, just understand. If I define a method, if I define a method, do I require to call the method for execution or not? If I define a method, do I require to call the method for execution or not? Same way, same way, if you define a constructor, the constructor also should be explicitly called for execution. Constructor also should be called for execution. We need to call the constructor also for execution. I repeat, guys, just like you call a method for execution, a constructor also should be called for execution. And now you'll be wondering, so where did you call the constructor? It got executed. Where did you call this constructor? It got executed. Did you get my point or not? Where did you call the constructor and how it got executed? This will be a big doubt in our minds now. Okay. So guys, whenever you create the instance of a class, we call the constructor. Whenever you create the instance of a class, we call the constructor. Watch it here. What did you write here? What did you write here is exactly matching with what did you write here. See. Are you guys clear? So this is constructor calling only. So when do you call a constructor? When you create the instance. See now, these three are interrelated with each other. What three? What three? Look, create an instance. Constructor is called. Memory is allocated. Are you clear, guys? So whenever you create an instance, what is going to happen? Constructor is called. and memory is allocated. Memory is allocated. All these three are interrelated with each other. All these three are interrelated with each other. What three? Instance creation, constructor calling, memory is allocated. Okay. Now tell me, if instance is not created, will the constructor be called? If I don't create an instance, is it going to call a constructor? No, no. Then memory will not be allocated now. Then memory will not be allocated now. So all these three are going to be interrelated features, interrelated concepts here. Okay. So all these three are going to be interrelated here. See now. Watch. Did I create an instance again? Tell me, sorry, am I calling the constructor again? Is the constructor called again or not? Is the constructor called again or not? Yes, constructor is called again. So memory is allocated now. Memory is allocated. Okay. Now answer this question. Am I calling a constructor? No. And that's why it doesn't have memory allocation. That's why it doesn't have memory allocation now. You're not calling a constructor. Now tell me, am I calling the constructor? Am I calling the constructor? Hello. Am I calling the constructor in the last line? No, we are not calling the constructor. So memory is allocated or not allocated? Memory is allocated or not allocated? Not allocated. You already know now? You already know memory is not allocated for that. So memory is allocated only. Memory is allocated only. When the constructor is called. Memory is allocated only when the constructor is called. Are you guys clear? Okay. And now guys, all of you carefully observe. When you're creating a instance, what is the syntax to create an instance? I said you, class name. What is the syntax to create an instance? Class name, instance name is equals to new class name, right? Class name, instance name is equals to new class name. Are you clear? Class name, instance name is equals to new class name. But actually, guys, this is not class name, instance name is equals to new class name. This is actually class name, instance name is equals to new constructor name. What is that? Class name, instance name is equals to new. What is this? Constructor name. Okay. So observe this, all of you. Carefully notice this. Yeah. What is the first point? Constructor of a class must be explicitly called. Constructor of a class must be explicitly called for execution. And we do that while creating the guys, listen, we do that while creating the instance of the class. Next, class name, instance name is equals to new. What comes here? Constructor name. Okay, now? Now, if a constructor is called, read this paragraph, all of you. Read this paragraph, all of you. Are you clear? Constructor, remember that point, guys. Remember that point. What is it? Memory allocation is only for instances. Memory allocation is only for the instances. Instance only will allocate the memory. The reference will not have memory allocation. Why reference will not have memory allocation? If you clearly observe that, a reference will not have any memory allocation. If you clearly observe that, a reference is not going to have a memory allocation at any point of time. Why reference will not have memory allocation? Because why reference will not have a memory allocation, guys? Because reference doesn't call a constructor. See, last class I said about references. And last class I explained you, references will not have memory allocation, right? Last class I explained you about references and I said you, references will not have memory allocation. Am I right or not? And today I given you an explanation, guys. Today I given you an explanation. What explanation? I hope you people are clear with this. I hope you people are clear with this. Okay, so this all about like a constructor and how do you define a constructor. Okay, now answer this question, guys. Constructors are defined explicitly or implicitly? Answer this question. Constructors are defined explicitly or implicitly? Both is a wrong answer, not both. Both is a wrong answer. The answer is either or, not both. Either or. What is it either or? Either or in the sense, listen, you can define a constructor explicitly, and if you don't define, there will be an implicit constructor. You can define a constructor explicitly, and if you don't define, the constructors will be defined implicitly. Okay, both constructors will not be there. There is no chance for both constructors at a time. There will not be a chance for both constructors at a time. Both the constructors will not be defined for you at any point of time. Are you guys clearer or not? So what is the answer? What is the answer? Either or. Now answer this question. Constructors are called implicitly or explicitly? Constructors are called explicitly or implicitly? Constructors must be called explicitly. Constructors must be called explicitly. Are they not going to be called implicitly? No. Constructors are never called implicitly. Constructors must be called explicitly. Are you guys clear? Read that. Read the two question and answers, guys. Read the two question and answers. Are you clear? Why must called explicitly? What is your question? I did not understand. What is your question? I did not understand. What do you mean by why must be called explicitly? Otherwise, how will they be called? Without calling, nothing will execute. Did you get my point? Without calling, nothing will execute. Yeah, will a method execute without calling? Same way, constructor also will not execute without calling. So calling is mandatory. You must call a constructor for execution. Constructor is just a method. So if you call it only, it will be executing. Okay, guys. Next, constructors are two types. Constructors are two types. What are the two types? One is default constructors. First one is default constructor. Second one is who will call implicitly? Ashu, answer my question. Who will call implicitly? Okay, guys, constructors are two types. What are the two types? Default constructors, parameterized constructors. What are default constructors? What are default constructors? Default constructors means, listen, guys. Default constructors means a constructor without any parameters. A constructor without any parameters is what we call as a default constructor. Are you clear what I'm telling you? A constructor without any parameters is what we call as a default constructor. No parameter, that is called default constructor. Guys, right now, we defined the constructor. Did you notice it? Right now, we defined the constructor. Did you notice it? Yes or not? And that particular constructor is what that particular constructor is a default constructor. A constructor without any parameters is what we call as a default constructor. Okay, a constructor without any parameters is what we call as a default constructor. If it is defined without any parameters, we call that as a default constructor. And see, these default constructors can be explicitly defined. These default constructors can be explicitly defined, or guys, listen, these default constructors can be explicitly defined or will be implicitly defined. These default constructors can be explicitly defined or will be implicitly defined, provided there is no constructor defined inside of that class. I repeat, these default constructors can be explicitly defined or will be implicitly defined, provided there is no constructor defined in the class. See, I did not define a constructor. Then the default, compiler defines a constructor now. I did not define a constructor in the class. Then compiler defines a constructor or not? Yes or not? So that's why what I'm telling you, these constructors can be explicitly defined or will be implicitly defined. Either I can explicitly define or will be implicitly defined, provided the class doesn't contain in it. Okay? See, a constructor without any parameters is known as default constructor. A constructor without any parameters is known as default constructor. Default constructor. And these constructors can be explicitly defined by us or will be implicitly defined by the compiler, provided there is no explicit constructor in the class. Guys, all of you carefully listen. A constructor without any parameters is known as a default constructor. Is known as a default constructor. Okay? And these constructors and these constructors and these constructors can be explicitly defined by us. Okay? Defined by a programmer. That will be a better word. We are the programmers by a programmer, or will be implicitly defined by the compiler, provided there is no explicit constructor in the class. Did you understand this point, all of you? Did you understand this point? Then what is a parameterized constructor? What is a parameterized constructor? A constructor that is defined with parameters is known as a parameterized constructor. And these constructors can be defined only by the programmer explicitly. But they are never defined implicitly. Guys, read the second point, all of you. Read the second point, all of you. See guys, parameterized constructors can be defined. Parameterized constructors can be defined only by programmers. Parameterized constructors can be defined only by the programmers. Did you guys understand it? If a programmer define means explicit, that is. Programmer means explicit, yeah. Programmer only can define means what the meaning explicit. So there is no chance for implicit. Okay, observe all of you. I'll show you an example first. I'm adding a new class here. We'll name this class as paramConDemo. paramConDemo. Okay. In this, I'm writing a constructor paramConDemo in type. Console.writeLine. Parameterized constructor is called. Parameterized constructor is called. Understood, guys? Okay, console.writeLine. Parameterized constructor is called. Okay, now static void main. And now you see, I'm going to create a paramConDemo CD1 is equals to new paramConDemo. When I create an instance, I can pass a value now. The value what I'm passing here will come to I, and now that value is going to be printed for you here. Console.readLine. Yeah, guys, you observe it. paramConDemo CD1 is equals to new paramConDemo. You got it? You understood? What is it, you know? If a constructor is parameterized, then values to those parameters should be sent while creating the instance of class. Guys, read that note. Read that note. For understanding, look, all of you. When I was telling about instance creation, I said you this one. See here, if you look at this, if you just look at this, what is this here? List of values. List of values. Mandatory or optional? Mandatory or optional? Optional. When do I need this, Now read this note, you will understand. Read that note, you will understand when do I need them. Read that note, you will understand when do I need them, guys. Did you guys understand the note? Now, see. With every instance, memory, see, when I create an instance, memory is allocated 3 times now. Array, memory is allocated 3 times now. 3 instances, 3 times. For every instance, I have a different value now. First instance value is 10, second instance value 20, third instance value is 30. Are you guys clearer? Read this, all of you. From here up to note. From here up to note. Read it, everyone.